Shop. My name is Patrick. I run the marketing department here at Art Storefront's. Been doing that for about 6 years now, and that means I've been working on solving the problem that is how do you sell art or photography by best leveraging marketing and digital marketing in particular. And it's an interesting problem to work on. There's not that many, you know, art marketing agencies, for instance, right? Because it's a very, very hard problem to solve. Selling art and photography is not like selling every other item out there. A lot of tradecraft, a lot of nuance to it. In addition to that, I've been running 3 of these sessions since a little bit before the pandemic. So, year and a couple of months now. I don't believe that there's another human being on the planet that talks to more artists and photographers on a week in, week out basis. I have now at this point heard it all, seen it all, you know, niche selection, pricing, sales, Facebook ads, branding, how to negotiate with the galleries, pricing, markup. I have heard and been through all of it over the last year. And in addition to that, we have like a little bit over 5,500 customers now. And one of the things that we do a great deal of is studying the ones that sell the best and studying quite in depth. For instance, who's capturing the most emails? How are they doing that? Excuse me. Who is the best on Facebook? Who is the best on Instagram? What are they posting? What kind of activity are they getting there? Who is selling the most art, period? Who is selling the most classes? Who is selling the most originals? Who's selling the most commissions? Metal prints, canvas prints. And you do all of that collectively. And why am I bringing all of this up? I think I can help you. I think today's Q&A after I'm done with the presentation can be insanely valuable. I think if you're struggling with something, I probably have a solution that can put you on the path. And I mean that in the biggest non-sales pitch way ever. I don't care if you ever do business with Art Storefronts, if you ever become a customer. I want the session to be valuable. I want to try to get you on a path to growing your art business to where you want it to be. I honestly believe that I can help you. So the Q&A will happen sort of after the presentation, and love for you to think about whatever questions you have, whether you've never sold your art before and you're just trying to get into it, whether you had robust sales pre-pandemic and the pandemic crushed you, whether you're struggling with a question of niche selection, what style should you be doing, or you're struggling with how to price your work, or you're struggling with how to get attention to your work, which, let's be honest, 100% of you guys are struggling with that. Every single solitary artist and photographer is struggling with that. But point being, have your questions ready and we'll get into the Q&A after the fact. But I want to start with sort of this new concept that I've come up with, and I call it the art selling pyramid. Okay. And I sort of stole it from Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I don't know if you've seen this pyramid, right? But in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, um, you've got the physiological needs at the bottom, right? And the concept of the pyramid is you have to sort the blocks on the bottom before you can even contemplate sorting the blocks on the top. And the physiological needs are first, right? We have to eat, we have to sleep, we have to do that daily. That has to happen every single solitary day before we can even contemplate working on safety and shelter and money. And then you go up the thing and it's love and belonging and esteem and self-actualization. You can become a great person and all of that jazz. So let me give you the art selling pyramid, okay? Borrowed from Maslow. Same thing, pyramid, got to sort the bottom blocks, up we move. And the bottom block, the first block is attention. And I know, without equivocation, that every single solitary person on this Zoom call has an attention problem. What is attention? It is the eyeballs that you need to be able to sell your work. It is people knowing who you are, seeing your work, interacting with you. And we live in a in a world right now where attention is the currency of the land. It's not dollars, it's attention. You have the attention, you can do anything. Without it, you're not in the game. Does the best art that's being created get sold? No. The best art that's being created that gets seen gets sold. And attention is every single solitary one of our problems. And just like in Maslow's pyramid, you have to sort it daily. You have to be working on getting more of it daily. It is no different than eating and sleeping. And I look at this little pyramid, and a perfect way for me to explain it. Do you know who some of the most powerful women, not just in the United States are, but in the entire world are? It's the Kardashians. You want to know why? They have attention. Okay. Any one of those women, any of those surgically enhanced women, could decide to start painting stick figures tomorrow and sell $35 million worth of art in the first year. Why? Because they have attention. Okay. They understood what the currency of the land is. When you have the attention, you can do anything. Attention comes in two forms: rented and owned. Rented are YouTube subscribers and Instagram fans and Facebook followers, any social media followers you have on any of those sites. Why is it rented? It's rented because you don't own it. They can change the rules at any time. Still very important, but it's rented. The other kind of attention, the owned attention, really email addresses, most importantly. Secondarily, snail mail. And for some people that do text message marketing, it's phone numbers. But you have to work on building your attention day in, day out. It is a quotidian job. And ultimately, it's the biggest problem that every single solitary one of you on here have. Some of you think you have a website problem. Some of you think you have a pricing problem. Some of you think you have a problem negotiating with galleries. You can't even have any of those problems until you solve the attention problem. The attention problem is the whole ball game. And when you understand it, you start getting intentional. You start working at it. It is no different than eating and sleeping. What did you do to acquire more attention for your work today? If you're not working on that, then you can't even have any of the other problems. Next block. Okay. After we solve the attention situation, we're working on it. It's a constant battle. It never ends. The outside of this block is number 1 and 2 here, and then I'm going to get into the block. Number 1 is the business model. Okay. I believe that an artist or a photographer, if they want to build a successful business, has to understand the business model. The business model is selling direct, by which I mean you, the artist, the photographer, selling directly to your end customer. You retain the data on your end customer such that you are able to market to that customer in perpetuity. Many people, the way that the industry worked traditionally forever, it was people that did not retain this information. They sold through galleries, or maybe they did the show in their circuit, but they weren't the best at keeping up with these people and marketing to them in perpetuity. I got this book that I cite all the time, and it's by Weiland. Weiland is the whale guy. Okay, and don't worry, I'm going to send you links to this. But he wrote this book. He sells it directly on his website. He's depending on who you talk to, he's the #1 selling artist in the entire United States, probably even the world, to be honest with you, because of his business model and what he's done. And he talks in that book about this concept called a collector list. Okay, and for Weiland, a collector list are buyers of his art that sell or that buy in upwards of 7+ pieces over the course of a lifetime, and he treats this collector list like VIP. His collectors might as well be staying in the Four Seasons. He reaches out. He gives them special access to things. He likes their social media posts, and he continues to build that list. Okay, and fundamentally, it is one of the single solitary most important things any art or photography business can have. Collectors surface, you market to them in perpetuity, your prices continue to go up, they go along for the ride. Some of these people will buy in upwards of 20 and 30 and 40 pieces throughout the course of your life. And if you are not building that list, it's sort of like you're working a job and you're not putting any money away in a retirement account. It's almost like a 401k that just pays every single solitary year. And I can go into some detailed examples, but the goal is you come out with a new series. You have a show, right? Whether it's a photographic series or it's the series that you painted. You'll start out, and your collector list will maybe buy 2% of the show or 5% of the show, and your goal is just to build that list such that the percentage of the work that they buy goes up and up and up. And I've seen customers that I've worked with recently where 40 to 50% of the show is bought before anyone even sees it by their collectors, just gone. So you created 20 pieces, 10 are gone instantaneously because you have been cultivating a collector list, because you understand the business model. Okay. And it is, I mean, we're going to get into it, but it is so fundamental. And I've been doing this for a long time now. Okay. I've talked to a lot of people, and it breaks my damn heart because on a regular basis, people are coming on these calls. Okay. And they're in their late 40s, late 50s, late 60s, late 70s. They are at the top of their game. They have honed their craft to the greatest it's ever going to be. And guess what? They didn't understand the business model. And guess what? They didn't keep a collector list. And so guess what? The pandemic hit and all their offline revenue sources, poof, are gone. And they're coming on this call and they're going, Patrick, and this is how I envisioned it. They had the corner office, floor to ceiling windows, the giant executive desk, the big leather chair. And I'm telling them, I'm sorry, you're out of there and you have to go back to the mailroom and you're pushing the cart because you did not cultivate this list. Okay, you did not keep a collector list. You did not work on your marketing. You did not understand the business model. What do you have now? You have nothing. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Wait the pandemic out? Like half the galleries are closed. The ones that are still open are renegotiating the split from 50-50 to 60-40 because they have 100 different artists that they want to pick from. Go back on the show and their circuit. That's wonderful. That does not pay if it's not at 100% attendance. How long is it going to take for the show and their circuit to get back to 100% attendance? We don't know, but it's not going to be instantaneous, right? So really, really passionate about the business model. Really, really passionate about the collector list. I think the minute you understand that, boy, are you in a great place. Boy, are you in a great place. You're building it. It takes time. Okay, that's the outer shell. The inside of the block, 3 ways to sell art. There are 3 ways to sell art. Okay, every single solitary artist, my argument, and photographer needs to understand the 3 ways to sell art and needs to be applying them in their business. Number 1, best way to sell art. Trick question of sorts. Everyone knows the best way to sell art. It's in person, face to face. It always has been. It always will be. Okay, in person, face to face is the best way to sell art. Anytime you have the ability, my voice is just going weird today. Anytime you have the ability to sell art that way, you do that. Problem: we are all of us geographically fixed on this planet. We all have to sleep. We can't have 15 conversations at once. So the third way to sell art, and I say third because it's the least important, is via your website. You absolutely have to have a website. The website solves for these problems when you're asleep, 15 people at a time, and for many of the geographic problems. The second way to sell art, okay, the newest way to sell art, the one the entire art selling world is trying to figure out right now, the greatest advancement in selling art since forever is exactly what we're doing right now. It is selling art via live video in either a one-to-one fashion or a one-to-many fashion. A one-to-one fashion, I go to Antonio's website. Antonio, these pieces are very interesting. What is that one behind you? I would like to buy it. Can we talk about it? Antonio goes, Patrick, no problem. Let me set up a Zoom call with you. I'll show you a couple of pieces and we can talk about it. I can get to know you. That is the one-to-one fashion. The one-to-many fashion, okay, which is mega interesting as well, is this concept of a live art show, okay? And what am I doing? There we go. So I have a couple examples of this I'm going to show. This is a painter in his garage studio. He has some works that he's trying to sell. He is streaming this to Instagram. He is streaming this to Facebook. He's streaming it to YouTube. He is holding the works up. He's talking about them. People can leave comments. They can purchase them. This is one particular type of these sales. This is a customer and a good friend of ours named Matthew Locke. We've run a number of these different initiatives with him. In addition, okay, to this concept of doing it in your studio, what happens if you have an actual show? He had an actual show in the middle of the pandemic. Now, attendance was limited. Now, a bunch of people couldn't travel, so the attendance of the show was light. He still sold a bunch of stuff. The day after the show, what do? We turn the cameras on. He grabs a glass of wine, wears this ridiculous sleeveless shirt. I always make fun of him for the sleeveless shirts. I can't help it. I think it's funny. And what is he doing? He's walking through the show, and you notice people are leaving comments. We're highlighting the comments. He's walking through the show. He's explaining each of the pieces. Okay. So my point in showing this is the new, and I've got another one here too. I can rattle through so many examples of this. It's crazy, but this is absolutely the future of selling art. It is the next best way. And when we contemplate, let me mute this, but I'll just give you something to stare at while I rant here. You know, if selling art in person, face to face, is the best way to sell art, then okay, everything that we do digitally tries to get as close as possible to that. Okay, and what would be the ideal way to sell art? Let's just say it's an art gallery that you own in your hometown. Okay, people can come in, they can get to know you, have a conversation, they can buy the art. For all the people that can't geographically do that, the next best way is this via live video. Again, one-to-one or one-to-many, a group show, right? And it's so close to the real thing. It's amazing. You don't have to leave your hometown. They get to know you. They get to interact with you. They feel like they have a bond with the artist. It is the future, full stop. And what's interesting is the entire world is trying to figure this out right now. Okay? The entire art selling world is trying to figure it out. Your industry doesn't have a lot of reports. There's 2 big ones, okay? There is the Art Market 2021 report. They do one of these each year. It's from Art Basel and UBS. I'm going to send you links to the report. I want you to read it. It's amazing. It's incredible. The disclaimer on it is these guys report on the top 1% of the art selling market, right? Like the highest of the high end, the Sotheby's, the I always forget the other ones. Sotheby's and I can't remember what the other one is. Anyway, the top auction houses in Christie's, the top auction houses and the top art selling dealers and the top galleries and stuff. But the report is still very, very relevant. Okay, and the link we'll send you. You can download the entire report, which I recommend you do. I think you'll find it really insightful. But they have these key findings too, which is like this snazzy little web page they built to talk about it. And so I can go in here, I can explore this thing. They've got some lovely little graphs. But you read this report, and what they call it, and I'll quote, Chapter 5 looks at the online art market and the rapid evolution in sales in 2021. The chapter shows how the dealer sector shifted sales online in 2020 and the development of online viewing rooms, OVRs. Do you know what online viewing rooms are? A snooty way to talk about a Zoom call, okay? A snooty way to talk about exactly what we are doing right here, right now. So this is the future of how to sell art in an incredible fashion. I always feel like a bit of a Yahoo to share numbers, but I'm going to share numbers because it's going to give this whole entire thing some teeth, okay? So Matthew Locke, longtime customer, great friend, normally does the full dog and pony gallery shows. In the middle, so this was on June 9th, 2020. He did 2 of these over a 15-day period. He sold 62 pieces for a little bit over $30,000 Canadian. From his basement, no 50-50 split, direct, didn't have to leave. This is his garage studio. It's where he paints. Didn't even leave his living room. This gal, Meg, also a customer, she was moving studios, legitimately moving studios from one studio to another. This was about a month ago that we ran this. And, just to underscore my collector list, okay? This particular sale was teased on a Friday. On Monday, she emailed her collector list. Her collector list bought 46% of the show. She sold a little bit less than, I think, 76 different pieces for $15,000. Now, the pieces in this particular show were like the color studies, right? They weren't like the full buttoned up pieces. I'm trying to get to one where she's actually holding one. There were color studies, there were sketches, there were smaller works, right? Stuff that was just involved in it. But the point is, this is absolutely the future. It is such an incredible way to sell art and photography. The entire world is trying to figure it out. You get people using various different, at the snooty end, it's OVRs, online viewing rooms, or the art fairs and shows that are trying to keep the booth deposits. What's their line that they love? We're going to have a virtual art show, right? Everyone is trying to figure this out right now. I do not know what floor this particular elevator is going to go to. My guess is it's going to go very, very, very high. What I'm saying is right now, this elevator is on the ground floor and the doors haven't even closed yet. The whole world's trying to figure this out. And there is so much tradecraft to it. I can't even begin to tell you. This particular Zoom call, I have all you guys in a Zoom call right now, right? This is also being streamed to 2 YouTube channels, to a Facebook channel, to Twitter, all at once, all simultaneously. Everyone is trying to figure this out, and it is the most effective way to sell art, period. And so step 1 is becoming aware of it. Step 2 is starting to practice it and put it into practice. And I guarantee you there's probably not a single solitary person on this call that is doing it. And people ask, what is it that you do at Art Storefronts? We teach our customers how to sell art and photography in the most advanced ways possible. And because I don't care, 90%, I tell people these things, 90% of the people will never, ever even do it. So I don't even care to give away the tradecraft. I'll give away the tradecraft right now. So my sleeveless associate here, Matthew, is using wireless Apple AirPods connected to his iPhone, which has this stream going out live on Instagram. We are leveraging software that is streaming it, that's putting in this little title here, right? And his logo and the banner at the bottom to inquire, and it's pulling the comments in. So cell phone, earpods connected to Instagram on the phone, laptop, computer, Facebook, personal Facebook, YouTube account, all of that goes down all at once simultaneously. And you can see there's numbers here. If the number 2 thing goes away, he's even got little numbers here. Why? Because the people on Instagram can't see the graphics that we have on the screen. And so they need to know, okay, was that number 2 or number 3? You can't really see it, but it's like right behind here. There's like a little thing. Yeah, there it is. See, number 5. And we're on number 5. So everyone knows there's a million little things like that. What is the best combination of the technology? How do you announce it? What do you do during the course? And don't worry, I'm going to send you guys, I'm going to send you these shows after the fact so you can watch them and pick up what you like. But this is absolutely the future. you guys, and it is completely changing the game. And you don't need to leave your house, and there are no booth fees, and there's no loading up the car and driving somewhere and staying in some crappy hotel and eating crappy food and then hoping you're going to see an ROI. There is no limit to the amount that you can run. It is the most uh, uh, beneficial use, highest ROI use of an artist or photographer's time I could even imagine right now. It's not even close. And again, whole world's trying to figure it out. So those are the three ways to sell art. I got to get back to my pyramid. Bear with me. You have to be running all three, and you have to be doing all three consistently all year long. So we start by constantly gathering attention. We start by recognizing the business model, collector list, as well as the three ways to sell art. Then we get to the top of the pyramid, which is everything else. What do I mean, everything else? You have a brick and mortar gallery that's working out for you, that's bringing in revenue to your business. Fantastic. We love revenue. I have never met a revenue source I don't like. Keep it going. But it's in addition, okay, not in lieu of working on attention, not in lieu of working on the three ways to sell art and building your own collector list. What if it's an online gallery? Maybe it's Saatchi or Fine Art America or Redbubble or Etsy or any of the others. Is it bringing in revenue? Fantastic. I've never met a revenue source I don't like, but it's in addition to everything else. Okay. It's in addition to getting your own attention. It's in addition to the three ways of selling art. So too, if you're doing the show and thayer circuit, we love the show and thayer circuit. It's fantastic. I can't wait for it to come back. It is a great way to build attention, but it's in addition to those two. You understand this pyramid, okay? You start working on this pyramid, and you are going to be on the path towards building a successful art or photography business. You don't, and you don't control the rules. You do not control the stakes. You can have the rug ripped out from underneath you at any point in time, which I've seen again and again and again on these calls. And one of the things that no one talks about, okay, and does not get mentioned enough. 3 of these a week for a year and a half, okay? It's not hyperbole. That many of them. Every single solitary week, there are people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and I would say once every 2 weeks, somebody in their 90s comes in on these calls asking questions. And so, why do I bring that up? Understand the perspective of how long you guys are going to be artists and photographers selling your art or photography. Okay. You guys don't go through midlife crises. Doesn't happen to creatives. You don't decide all of a sudden you're going to stop being a painter and you're going to go rent jet skis in Florida for the summer and that's going to be your job. Okay. So when you have the perspective figured out that you are going to be working at this for the rest of your life into your 90s in many cases, it underscores how important it is to understand this pyramid, to start working on this pyramid. And guess what? It's not going to be easy at first if you're just getting started. It's going to be a pain in the butt. I'm looking at Rick there, and Rick, if you have not been building that list the entire time, when I'm telling you have to learn how to email market and social media market, and you need to start doing it on a regular basis, that could be frustrating, but it's not frustrating when you got another 25 years of growth in this doggone business. So what does Art Storefronts do at the end of the day? We teach you how to do the pyramid. Yeah, we give you a website. And yeah, we put you into a university where there's no graduates because the learning never stops. That's really, in a nutshell, who we are, what we do. Um, after this thing's over, we're going to email you everything that I talked about, all the links, anything else that we get into, and we will email you to, like a demo type of video that explains some of the features. We can talk about the features. We can talk about pricing or printing or any of the things that we do. And if for any reason you don't want to get into those things, that's totally okay. If you want to just talk about what's going on with your career, questions you may have. I know some people sent me some questions. Antonio, I saw you sent me some questions via email. I did not get a chance to read that today because I was just slammed. So why don't I just start with you, Antonio? Oh yeah, let me tell everyone else how to raise their hands and then get your questions ready. If your camera's on and you want to ask some questions, I'll see the old school hand raise. For everyone else, you can click the participants button at the bottom of the Zoom, and what that'll let you do with that on is you'll be able to raise your hand digitally, and I'll know that you have a question in the queue. For all the folks that are, and you can leave a question in the chat. We'll get those. See, I can see Christine's raised her hand, so I'll see those questions. We can answer those on the social. I'm pulling your comments in too. I should be able to see them, so we can answer those as well. So I'll go through just all of them. And Antonio, you're up first. I'm sorry I didn't get your email, brother. It's just been one of those days. You'll need to unmute, Antonio, bottom left-hand corner. I'll let you know when you get it. It's like a mic icon. Yep, gotcha.
Yes. One of my questions is, I keep hearing like you need to find your niche,
Hmm.
clientele. How do you determine that based on what style that I produce, of art?
Yeah, you don't. You don't. Your audience determines it for you. So let's just say you have 5 or 6 or 7 different styles, right? And you don't know what you don't know, meaning you don't know which one's going to take off. You don't know which one's going to have the broadest audience, which one's going to sell best. And so what do? You get it all up on a website. You start marketing. You get some eyeballs. You get some attention. And after you've done that for a year, your audience is going to tell you what your niche is. And here's what you'll find out: it might be one particular style that you do, and it might not. It might not. It might just be a collection of all of them, right? It might be none of it. It might be you need to go in a different direction. Everybody tries to make the decision and tries to think that they can figure it out without doing the marketing. And until you know, by getting it in front of people that are strangers, you'll never know. You'll never ever know. And guess what? You're a part of the brand as much as your style is. Every artist and photographer out there thinks that, okay, it's just my images. It's just my images, and that's my niche, and that's who I am. Guess what? You're a part of the brand too. They want to know who you are. They want to know where you came from. They want to know what you're interested in, like what your nuances and peccadillos are. That's how art is sold. So you're going to be a part of the brand as much as anyone else. And early on, everyone gets like hung up. Oh, I got all these styles. I don't know what the styles are. And what do? They sit there and they ponder that question for years without doing any damn marketing. And you don't know, right? You have to figure it out by getting the work out there. Okay. And that means marketing. In a pre pandemic world, you could have taken your 5 or 6 styles and gone and done the show and thayer circuit. You could have figured it out that way, right? But that's a little bit harder to do in today's day and age. So don't stress about it. Just get it out there. But based on what I'm seeing behind me, you got skills, dude. I wouldn't worry about it. You need to start marketing.
And if I may ask another, like
Please.
how I'm having difficulty to go beyond the clientele list that I've already built,
Hmm.
because you can only sell so many pieces to your friends and some collectors.
Hmm.
How that's where I find myself more stuck at the moment.
Yeah, it's
I
just
don't know if
marketing.
you understand that. Yeah.
It's just marketing. You're not doing consistent marketing. You're not doing consistent, effective marketing. That's just what we teach you to do all year long, right? Like, the way I reference it is every artist, every photographer needs to build up the marketing muscles necessary to run this business. And big picture, normal marketing, sale, normal marketing, sale, normal marketing, sale, rinse and repeat year in, year out. That's this business. That's this business, full stop. Okay. And when I say sale, don't get hung up on discounting the work and it cheapens the work. Sale is just the mechanics on which we actually move the product. Okay. What is the regular marketing muscles? You need to be actively capturing emails and attention, like I talked about. You need to be emailing that list on a regular basis. You need to be posting on the socials on a regular basis. When the time is right, you need to be running a sale. You need to understand all the mechanics of a sale. How do you tease a sale? How do you announce a sale? What do you do during a sale? How do you make sure that your email copy dovetails with your Instagram and Facebook posts? How do you make sure your Facebook and Instagram ads get even more reach on your sale? How do you extend a sale? All of those mechanics, you need to understand that. And you're not going to learn that overnight. It takes time. It's just like I say, it's like doing 100 push ups, right? Like if I told you you had to do 100 push ups in one sitting, you're going to have to do some training to get there. That's hard, right? Unless you're like a Marine. So you have to build up those muscles. Once you build up those muscles, then you'll be in an incredible place. But the business will grow throughout it. The business will go throughout it. How do you go about selling your stuff now? Just out of curiosity.
I've had through exhibiting,
Mm-hmm.
in galleries.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I used to have lots of open studios,
Mm-hmm.
which now is limited. So that's where I used to sell the most,
Got it.
and sometimes through Facebook out of referrals.
Yep. But you've never run a live art show, have you?
No,
No.
I get shy about it. Yeah.
I know. I know. We number one, there's alcohol for that. Number two, if alcohol is not your thing, sometimes you just need some poking and prodding. But
Uh-huh.
prior to the pandemic, and I've been running the marketing department in this business for, like I said, like 6 years. Prior to the pandemic, I was never on video once, not once in 4 years. I had a podcast. I hate being on video. I despise it. But you know what? I'm contrarian. The writing's on the wall. This is the future, and you have to embrace it, right? You have to embrace it. So
Um, through your services, do you guys help out in terms of? I'm not a techie savvy with the
yeah, yeah,
computer and
yeah,
YouTube.
yeah, yeah.
Is that steps that you guys guided?
Oh yeah, massively so. Our support is like one of the most incredible things that we have is a business. And I saw, just to go on a tangent in the chat, someone was asking like, do you have reviews that are not on the website? Yes, I can just show you. So where's it? Where's it? Are there any outside reviews on our storefronts that's not part of the website? If you go to our Facebook page, and by the way, this is one of my favorite hacks in the history of mankind. If a brand is bold enough to have their Facebook reviews section turned on, you can go and read the reviews and think of them like Amazon reviews, where you can actually contact the person that left the review. All you have to do is click on the person's name, send the person a message with Messenger. It is fantastic. It is one of the most amazing things ever. Imagine if I could go into Amazon and like look at this product and see like the 1 3-star review that like resonates with me and send that person a message. Well, why did you leave this, right? And then figure out if I want to buy something. You can do that with Art Storefronts. And all the reviews, do you know what they mention? The support is so good. The support is so awesome. The support is amazing. So yes, we helped you get over the tech hurdles. You are going to have to learn some stuff. You're not going to like it, but we will carry you kicking and screaming over the line, and it is just a reality of today's landscape. You have to build the skill set a little bit. It's just where we are. It all goes back to attention, right? And the attention is best found and cultivated digitally, and we teach you how to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
But dude, your work looks phenomenal. Like, if you don't mind me asking, what did you sell all in last year?
Oh my God. Well, I've had a couple of fortunate events. I was in a motorcycle accident, which put me down for a year.
Oh,
And then I was getting,
what kind of bike did you ride?
I had a Ducati.
Oh,
I crashed on the freeway.
oh,
Yeah.
which one?
The A48 Evo.
Yeah, yeah. I have a Monster S4 RS.
Oh yeah, I had a Monster. I sold it too
Yeah.
prior to that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You need to
Anyway.
you need to sign up. You need to sign up. You and I are gonna become fast friends in this deal. Yeah.
So I was getting over that, and then the pandemic hit. So, but prior to that, I was getting a good run, but not enough to be comfortable monthly, basis.
Yes.
So,
No joke. You need to request a demo. We will help you massively, massively. And again, I'm making a quick snap value judgment on your work behind you, but I think that piece is fantastic. So
thank you.
you just need marketing. What part of the country do you live in?
I'm in Los Angeles.
You're in Los Angeles, yeah. So I'm just an hour south of you, by the way. I'm in Newport.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But good stuff. Definitely request a demo. Definitely talk to us. We're going to be able to help you big time.
Okay.
Yeah. And I appreciate you dressing the part. Your shirt looks almost identical to the piece behind you. You're in it. You're in it. And I want to hear about the rest of the crash. I'm sorry you went down. Ride safe. Okay. Someone else had their hand up. Who was it? Juan. Can you tell me? Was it Christine? I thought you said Christine. Next. Yep, there you are. Okay, Christine, I'm unmuting you now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, talk about live art show venues. Like, where are you in your own gallery?
Yes.
Yeah. So you already have that sorted.
What did you say?
All you have to do is pick this computer up and walk down the hallway and talk to me about these various pieces, and our live art show is on. You get the perfect venue already.
And in fact, I was doing a Zoom talk with artists, but it was always static. But the beauty of that is that I can invite artists from all over the world, because I represent the local artists, national and international artists. But see, the concept of doing the Zoom call, you kind of brought that attention to me on a regular basis, but not only to just talk with the artists intellectually and exchange their concept about their art, but just giving a tour of the gallery and specifically bringing the attention of the artwork I want to sell. I like that. But the question was, the one you show us, where the artist is interacting with the public, or do you recommend like a video I could do myself and post on the website? What do you recommend?
Yeah, so we sort of have a mantra, which is just ship it, meaning, how do I answer that question? Whatever one you're going to do this weekend, I want you to get off of this call. I want you to grab your cell phone, go on whatever social site that you have, and say, hey guys, it's me, Christine. Happy Friday. A bunch of people have been asking for a gallery tour. Let's do it. The one you do today. I want you to do it the minute. In fact, I want you to start it right now. That's what that's quite literally what I'm talking about. Where are you from originally, by the way?
France.
Yeah,
I'm French and Italian, but I was born and raised in France.
Do you speak both?
Ma certo, sì. Parlo anche l'italiano.
Oh, that's incredible. That's incredible. So you got the major triple threat. And I go back to, so let me just punctuate, because this is one of the things I just get so fired up on. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you. So the gentleman in question that I was showing before, Matthew here, right? So he lives in Laval, which is in Quebec, so it's French speaking, right? And he has, what does he have? He has 25,000. I'm just giving this the context, but he has 25,000 followers on Instagram. I think he's got almost 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, for a completely random reason. I mean, I think all of his YouTube subscribers are what was I going to say? He does these like live paintings things. So yeah, my point is in all of this, he doesn't have like the biggest. He does these things, and people just get like super into him. I'll just play this in the background while I'm talking because it's kind of fun to watch. But he ran that show. Okay, 62 pieces were sold. Whoa, I can't remember. 62 pieces were sold, and after it was over, and during the course of that show, he's responding in French to the comments that are coming in from people speaking French. He's responding in English, and he speaks like basic conversational German. So he's handling some questions in German as well. And after it was over, he had to ship pieces in his native Canada. He had to ship a number of pieces in the United States. He had to ship a few pieces to Central America, a couple to Europe, and a couple to Asia. And you look at that, and it's like, my goodness, like you guys have an opportunity without leaving where you are in your studios to literally have an international business, and it's phenomenal. And I contemplate you, and you could be doing it in 3 languages. It's like phenomenal. So yeah.
And he's on Zoom direct with a client and interact while he's painting. People are joining the Zoom.
Well, no, I mean, this is just another one of the videos he has, and I just like it, so I play it in the background. But no, on the art shows, he's live on Instagram and he's live on Facebook and YouTube. But it doesn't matter if you do it that way or you do it in Zoom. The point is, it's like, you in the works, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's something when you can just hold a work, talk about it, talk about the fact that it's ready to frame, talk about your inspiration behind it, talk about where you were. Like, which particular city on the Amalfi Coast is this, Christine?
This is a Cinque Torri, no?
No, come, you know that church. It's Positano. It's Positano on the Amalfi Coast. But anyway, having the ability to do that and hold that up and go through it, it's just absolutely the future. So it's a huge deal.
All right, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. We can help you too. You got to sign up too. I want to see what else is going on in the gallery. What else?
But see, I'm very interested by this technology that I show on your website, where people throw their living room, a bedroom, whatever, and I throw the artwork on it.
Yes. Yeah.
This is fantastic, and I think that I want to move toward that tool.
Yes, it's an amazing consultative selling tool. Okay, and what she's making reference to is, just bear with me and I'll pull it up. It's called Live Preview with AR. Okay, and
oh, good. I wanted to see that.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. We sort of skipped on the demo, so let me just. The greatest thing about this is that it doesn't require an application. Here we are. No one has to download an app, right? And so, oh, by the way, this is the same painter. So let me just explain what's going on. So somebody with a cell phone, okay, can come to your website. They don't have to download any application or do anything, right? And they're able to inspect one of your works. They're able to press one button, okay, which is live preview with AR. And what it does is it takes the actual work and it uses the camera on the cell phone, and via augmented reality, it places the piece in whatever their camera is seeing. So you're about to see on the right-hand side, this is this person's real space, okay? And the work is actually on the wall, and they can size it up, size it down, move it around. They can see if it blends with the furniture. They can see if it's going to be the right color. They can take a screenshot and send it to their significant other. You can walk around all the rooms in your house and figure out the exact size that you want. And
that tool is fantastic.
Yeah, what's fantastic about it is that they don't have to download any app. There's no friction. And so, what we usually recommend people do is, like, you're talking to somebody and you're trying to sell a piece, and they're like, I just don't know if it's going to fit my space. And I would say, okay, Christine, no worries. Grab your cell phone. I'm going to walk you through doing this on the phone. Go stand right here, 10 feet away from the wall, pull the piece up, and let's look at it. And they can just, boom, size it up, size it down, show the husband, show the wife, show the stakeholders, boom. It gets sales over the line. I see your hands too. I'll get you next.
And this is very important because I do lose sales at times with clients who question,
always,
I'm not sure
always,
my room or the color of the, so
Always. Yeah. I mean, also too, like, everything that we build in terms of like the website features they're all just designed to eliminate the friction, right? And the biggest friction when you're talking about trying to sell art is, the people that are like, oh, if I could just decide, right? And this is loading. If I could just decide, I just don't know if it's going to fit in the space. And it's like, it's also this wall preview tool we have, right? So you can size things up and down, and it's one of a million features that we have. But you can size things up and down, and then you can say like, look, all of these wall colors here are all the best selling paints from Sherwin-Williams. They have your color. Tell me what your color is. You can switch what the rooms are. If you don't like these default images that we have, you can switch them to any images that you want. But each one is just attempting to get rid of those objections that get in, right? Like, I don't know if it'll fit. I don't know if it'll gel with my wall color. Will it look good in my space? And so it's a constant battle, trying to figure out, can you get that sale over the line? Can you beat that objection? But yeah, our website does a bunch of stuff for that.
great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Christine. All right, Steve's going to be up next, and then Steve, I see your hands up too, so don't worry. And you'll have to unmute. Yeah, looks like you got it, Steve.
No, I got that. Just got to look at my big finger as I wave around my phone.
Yeah.
It's like 4:30 in the morning or something where I am. I've been mucking around trying a couple of little videos. I did some live on Instagram. Nerves high, but it kind of worked a bit.
Yep.
But I found something I like doing, where I just pre-record a short video on the phone, use a bit of humor, show some work, then I'm posting it on Instagram that shares to my Facebook. But questions about Instagram and stories versus posts versus IGTV. So I've got some really nice videos that are longer in length that sit on Instagram TV that don't get any more hits anymore. They get a bit of a run, and then they sit stale. And then I don't understand the difference between how they work out how much they're going to show your post versus your easy story,
easy tactical one. And where are you? Where in Australia? Are you in Australia?
Yeah, just on North Coast, New South Wales. A couple of in Grafton, a couple of hours south at Byron Bay.
Nice. Yeah, we've got one customer, good friend, John Lechner. He's in Maitland. I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, not it's not like your island there is small, right? Or you would know everyone. So I'll just give you the tradecraft on this quickly. You post it to Instagram TV. When you save it to Instagram TV, it asks you whether or not you want to post a preview in your feed. Yes, you post a preview in your feed. After the video is then living in Instagram TV, if you click on it, there's a little paper airplane type of a logo. You click that and it'll allow you to add it to your story. And so what you can do is, every month or two, go back and add it to your story again. And what it lets you do is put the IGTV directly into your Instagram story. Then you can put some text below it or whatever, and it links directly to the Instagram TV story.
And so I say Instagram TV first, and that means I can get decent length. Say yes to the feed, find the little arrow, and then add to the stories. Yep. So in the story, that's in like the that's the long things along the top, and just keep coming around.
Correct. So that's like a good tactical way to solve for that. But I love that you're doing it, and then the next step of the game is just go live.
Yeah,
go live. In addition,
the live ones work well, and the way we practice the live ones was, of course, just practicing filming on the phone. So the ones that I'll do now, I've just got like 4 little Mother's Day sale sort of comical ones up. They're 28, 29 seconds long, that sort of thing. And I got you.
The little paper airplane thing.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But we probably punch out probably 15 of them that fail before there's one that I save. But yeah, it works. You get better.
Yeah,
it gets a lot easier, heaps easier.
Yeah, it does. It's like anything else. What I always love to say, you get to Carnegie Hall, practice.
Yeah. No, thanks for that. I'll that helps.
Yeah, cheers. And we do, you should actually probably just send a message to John. April, will you make a note to email Stu John Lechner's contact? If for no other reason, you know, there's an Art Storefronts customer that's close to you, and you know, if you want to ask him questions, you can. And he's super good dude.
Yeah, I've been listening to your Spotify podcast since January, and then went all the way back through. So I listened to a lot.
Yeah,
sort of moved through. Makes a lot of sense.
Now how much stuff do you have to put into practice, right? A lot.
Yeah, there's some I do, and then there's others that I'm kicking myself on.
Yeah.
A little bit of a pause on how to hit the email list. I've got it.
Yeah.
How to start that one. That's the main one I know that I'm doing that's dumb.
Yeah.
I've been collecting emails for a while through sales. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I sell drone aerial photography mostly, do some painting, but the photos sell really well.
Yep.
So I was collecting them, and I'm just sitting on that silly start where I'm blaming the email software because I can't quite work out how to use it. It's MailChimp.
Yep. And guess what's happening, Stu? The days are turning into weeks or turning into months, and you're not sending any emails, and you're not doing your marketing. Yeah, more so than even just like the tactical, right? And you have an idea of what we're capable of in terms of marketing tactical. You're listening to the podcast, but more than what we do is just like we're a support group / poking and prodding / some kick in the pants when you need one, right? That's what you need. That's what you need more than anything else. You need a kick in the pants, and not just one like every once in a while. You need one on a weekly basis. And guess what? Almost everyone on this call does, right? Like one of the things that we're flirting around with right now is offering like I shouldn't be talking about this, but a marketing concierge service where we check in with our customers on like a monthly basis, and we go over what they're doing and what they're not doing, and push them to do the things, because every one of you has a marketing problem, and the problem is like multifaceted, right? Yes, you have to learn how to do this stuff, but then you also need to do it, and you're all solopreneurs, and you don't have interns, and you don't have a back office staff, and you don't have a bunch of employees or a partner to help you. So it gets lonely. It's hard. You need support, right? You need constant support and coaching. So that's what we do.
It's gonna keep going. I used to sell through. I still do exhibitions and bits and pieces, but it's a boom bust. So there's an intensity of a build up, and it goes crazy, and then it used to just drop down a bit.
Yeah, your marketing
sort of go a lot more constant.
Your marketing will solve for the consistency. It's so important.
Yeah.
It's so
the
important.
other thing I wouldn't mind sharing with you, I found a little gold mine. So I work for state government. It's a day job. And they've got a thing called Workplace. So it's owned by Facebook. It's basically Facebook for work.
Yep.
And it covers a really large cluster of the government. And there's little social groups on there. And there's a photography page. And I was sort of looking at it, and you look at other people's stuff and go, oh yeah, it's a nice cow. And just sort of roll on. And then I started looking at the numbers, and it's like 2,000 subscribers. So I just romanced that group marketing. I've been hitting them all year, and I sold four artworks, like a couple of grand worth.
Yeah,
in one hit to a lady I hadn't met, not even asking.
Game on. That's
pushing it in front.
Yeah, that's how it works, right? We all have our own situations that are to our advantage. It's just about leveraging them. So
yeah, so I get the attention thing. It's been working for me. I'm working at it, but it makes a difference.
Yeah,
big time.
Yeah, it's the whole ball of wax, and you're doing some of the right things and keeping the list. But trust me, I don't say it to everybody. I know I've said it to the first 3 people that I've talked to, but we can help you. We can help you.
Yeah, cool. I'm on let some other people talk.
Yeah.
Here. So yeah.
Thanks, Stu.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is Nawara, and then it'll go Nicole, and then I will get into some of the questions in the chat. Go ahead, Nawara.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you. I'm
driving.
Not talking from. Yes,
okay.
I'm driving.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not driving. I'm in the back seat. But,
okay, good. As long as you're not driving.
No, I'm not. I was hoping that I would be calling from the gallery, but that's okay. I have a question regarding what's the difference between being on Artsy, for instance, or Storefront?
So Artsy, I believe, Artsy's not a marketplace. Artsy's just like a directory listing, right? Like no one's selling art directly on Artsy, or are they? I can't remember. I get Artsy confused. Yeah. So Artsy, then I think it's just a big gallery.
It's like the Saatchi thing.
Yeah. So it's just Artsy's just an online gallery then. So what we are is your own website on your domain. You own everything, but you're responsible for driving the traffic to, which is what we teach you to do all year long. So, you know, the difference is that a sale on Artsy, you don't keep the customer information. Yes, you get paid, but you don't keep the customer information. A sale on your own website, you keep everything. The money goes directly into your bank account. You have the customer to market to in perpetuity. And yeah, it's your store online where you own everything. Does that make sense? You're sort of like, oh, I kind of get it, but I kind of don't. Uh-oh. Might have lost you. I think, Noara, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop your camera. Sometimes that I'm going to try to stop your video. Sometimes that works. It's not stopping your video for some reason. We'll give it another second, see if you come back. It's sort of an amazing thing about the technology where it's like, you know, we're living through the Jetsons where she can take a call in the back of a car that's driving along somewhere and it's video and the whole thing. It's really pretty cool when you think about it. Yeah, Noara, we can't hear you. I'm gonna come back to you, okay? Hopefully you get in a better. Oh yeah, she just dropped out completely. Okay, Nicole, you're up next, and then Steve. Did you have your hand up too, Steve? Just so we can get to you next. I can't hear you, but I'll get to you next. Go ahead, Nicole.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey.
Hey, I have a question. Currently I have a website, like a Shopify website that I've been using. And I've had that for almost a year now. So I built some email lists. But how long does it take to merge over to Art Storefronts?
Oh, like 14.
Is there a lag?
14 days or less. You know, I mean, so, well, when you say merge, you own the URL and you're pointing it at your Shopify install, right?
Yeah.
So you can flip that switch in like, it takes like 2 hours and it's done. So you're just, instead of pointing at the Shopify site, you're pointing at your Art Storefront site. If you're talking about building the site, it'll be a little bit easier just because our platform is set up just for art, right? For the most part, to build, and most people will get live in 14 days or less. If you already have all this stuff, like all you have to do is move over your logo, move over the work, select your media types and pricing, which you already have done, put in the About Me section, and you're done. There's no fancy design. There's no like tweaking a bunch of things. Like our templates out of the box are fantastic. And so you don't have to do a bunch of custom colors and fonts and hacking and all the rest of that, because you don't have a website problem, do you, Nicole? You have a marketing problem. You have a marketing problem.
I have a marketing problem.
Yeah. I know. And it's not a knock on Shopify. We love Shopify. We kick Shopify's butt just because Shopify is set up to sell everything and we're set up just to sell art. It's not really a fair competition. But case in point, you don't have a website problem, right? Like, you know, the way that I say it is like, I'm the genie in the lamp and I just came out of the lamp, and any single solitary person on this call, I will magically move your website overnight to whatever platform you want, ours or whoever else's. Not going to fundamentally change anyone's business. Unless they have a ton of traffic and they have a ton of eyeballs and they're doing their marketing, it's not going to change the business overnight. It's the marketing problem you need to fix. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
And we can help. And you have a leg up too because you have an email list and you've already been through the tech hurdle. If you built a Shopify site, you have all the requisite tech chops to not pull your hair out of your head, which is not most artists. So leg up for you, Nicole. Leg up for you. Yeah. Okay, Steve, unmuting you now. Bottom left-hand corner, get your mic. Yep, gotcha.
There I am.
Gotcha.
Okay, my problem is my personal disorganization. We opened up a brick and mortar gallery.
Well, what city or town, just out of curiosity?
Well, I was about to describe that. We're near Hazleton, Pennsylvania, and it's a real podunk town that we're in.
Okay.
Thinking that we were near a tourist city and that there would be traffic going by. And the problem is the traffic does go by, but doesn't stop.
Okay.
So as a result, I've got about 4,000 square feet of brick and mortar space where we get almost no traffic.
Yeah.
I tried advertising in many places, and we would get people coming in a few times a week. My work made up a minority of most of my shows. Sometimes I would fill the gallery with my work, and I've only sold a very few pieces. I think my work is reasonably good.
Okay.
But I'm stuck selling with what I sell. And I need to make myself a day by day plan of what I've got to get accomplished today. I've tried a number of sale places. I'm on Instagram. I put in new posts every day. I'm on two different names on Facebook. I've been on Shopify. I've been on other places, and it's just gone nowhere. And part of it is my disorganization. So, how the hell do I get myself organized and get more of this stuff moving?
Yeah. So, here's what we found. And, website's not enough. We've been over that, right? We realized that selfishly, if we want to have a big business, then we need to have successful customers. How do you have successful customers? To your point about being disorganized, here's what we've done. 365-day year calendar tells you what to do week in, week out. Inside the calendar, it's split up between beginner, intermediate, and advanced. You start on beginner, you get more comfortable, you move up to intermediate, you get more comfortable, you move up to advanced. On each calendar entry is the digital do-it-yourself education that you need to know. If we're asking you to do email marketing, there's a course on email marketing that explains how to do it. If we're telling you to do a Facebook post, there's a course and tells you how to do it. If we're telling you to do a live art show, there's a course that tells you how to do it. In addition to that, we have weekly Zoom sessions just like this one. Everybody gets in here. We teach live what we're asking you to do. You can ask live questions, just like the fashion you are here. You can say, I'm stuck with this. You have support to guide you along the way. Available 6 days a week in all the venues imaginable. Tickets, phone calls, Zoom sessions. They can take over, look at your screen, and that never stops. It goes like that all year long. And that's what we've done to solve it. And it never stops. Never, ever stops. And just as a side note, I would, because you have that gallery, because you have the ability to show art in that beautiful fashion, I would be doing live art shows like it's going out of style.
But I've got to get people in here.
No. Live art shows via
online
video. Yes. You're never going to get people in there. Not easily anyway, right? Because if you're not somewhere where it is tourist and you're not somewhere where they are stopping, then the next thing you know is take it to the world. You've got the killer space and make that thing, leverage that thing to the best of your ability.
Yeah, we've got 0 foot traffic.
Yeah. What does it cost per square foot in that thing?
Well, I own it outright.
Okay, so
it's costing me nothing per square foot except for heat.
Wonderful. And the internet, which you need to be paying for to be running all these live art shows that we're going to teach you how to do.
Sure.
Yes.
And that I've got.
Good.
So where do I get the list of self-help articles and what kind of setup do I need to make with you guys? And rather than discussing it now, I need something that I can read to decide what level I need to be at.
For sure. So we've got our outreach team leader, Joseph, here. Joseph, can you unmute yourself and answer some of these questions? And Juan, will you help facilitate him with the questions too? I've got someone's ringing my doorbell right now. I got to go deal with it. Oh, I got to make Joseph a co-host. Hold on. All right, Joseph, you're good to go.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, generally if anybody wants to request a demo, our team can reach out and they'll just answer any questions, tell you more detail of exactly what you get with us. Like, Pat said, it's a 365-day marketing calendar and lots of other resources, like what to do with Father's Day and, all the clients we had success for Mother's Day, like all those playbooks, the consulting, I'm just kind of rattle off a couple of the highlights, and then it's a website built for selling art. So all that kind of stuff in one package. And then, I can give you a range on the pricing just so you have an idea. But if you talk with our team, they'll, listen to your specific situation. They can always make recommendations. And then also, if it's something you are looking to get started on, they can always find a time to kind of do a screen share with you and like actually show you, because, we are different from Shopify. I kind of like what Pat said. We have some proprietary like built features that like we've specifically designed for, artists and photographers selling, wall hanging art. so we can actually show you what they are, what they do, like you did with the augmented reality, and really explain it and then break it down for you. And then you can decide, kind of see what works best for you. So I'd be happy to walk you through all that. So did that help, or that make sense?
Well, how do I best access that?
Oh, we'll get you a link and email it to you. You can just request a demo, basically.
Okay.
And then our team, they'll give you a call and recap everything, maybe give you a couple more little details, and you can ask some questions that obviously are going to want to hear a little bit about your art and your situation. So you can, then they can make the best recommendations for you.
Sure.
But just so you and everybody has a light idea, right now with like the current promotion we're running, the discounted price, we have a one-time activation. Someone could get started as low as $1,000 there, as just a one-time fee. You don't pay that again. And then after that, it's $44 a month ongoing. Then we have options that range up to, on the high end, one-time activation of $2,700 as a one-time fee, and then $59 a month ongoing. The difference is like features, but like I said, they can always talk to you and see what you're interested in and looking for and get you more detail, but that's kind of the range. So if any of that's at any level in your budget, it's a great value, because you're going to get, like we've been talking about, the marketing plan's the most important part, and that's on anything. The difference is really features on the website. So
okay, thanks.
Absolutely, Steve.
And I would straight up turn that art gallery into a full-blown live art show venue. I would put railroad tracks down on the floor and have a little cart where I can move my camera around, and I'd be running as many live art shows a day as I can. We can talk about that later, though. I've got grand visions for having that space like that, and what you can do is just absolutely fantastic. Make sure you watch the videos, Steve, that we send you after this, and I think it'll inform some of your thinking. All right, Noir, you're back.
Yes, I am. Okay, so like I mean, just listening more to this, it just makes sense. Owning your website, especially if you spend so much money on just making it as your platform.
You have to. Yes, you have to.
Yeah, and then doing it through Artsy, I just feel sometimes I'm losing the work that I've been doing from my own space.
Yep.
And kind of giving away to the others. So I'm at a point where like I'm really thinking of just withdrawing the whole thing, push on on the alternative.
Yes.
So and it just makes perfect sense, because not only you're investing in your own thing, but also you're learning as you go.
Exactly right. And you're building a list. You're building a list that you can market to in perpetuity. Case in point.
Right. And I do own a gallery space, and due to the pandemic, like I was totally thinking that go digital, go online, but I'm also handicapped by how to do it and how to attract people and go beyond the 500 people that I have.
Yeah, not with us. Not with us. You won't be.
And then what? And nothing is selling.
Yeah, not with us. You won't be. We'll teach you how to do all of it, and that's the whole ballgame. I said you don't know how to do all that stuff, and I said that won't be the case with us, right?
Yeah. Okay. And that's what I've been listening to, which is great, and I like it. How do we pursue after that? Like after this call, do we email you or how?
Yeah, so you would request a demo, and Joseph, maybe you could explain what the demo process is like, because I know most people it's probably not straightforward.
Yeah, you can just request it, and then our team will reach out and just have a quick 10-15 minute call with you and hear a little bit about your art, give you a little more detail and fill in some of the gray spaces on exactly what we provide and services we offer. And if it's a good fit, they'll send you more example websites so you can see, whether if you're an artist, see some more artist sites, or photographer, more example photographer sites. And just you can.
We're a gallery, so we curate art from, or I'm just single, but it's just like I collected from too many different artists, and we resell. But and which makes me even more guilty, because it's not my art, and I'm like promising something, it's not happening. And so yeah,
Yeah, then it would be good for the
it's the
business. Yeah, to kind of diversify, get online, get that going with the offline as well. Because this is your online gallery, and this goes for everybody, whether you're a full gallery with lots of artists or you're single, you know, artists. Which we have clients that are both, right? People who have, like, Bill Stidham's one of our clients. He's got a brick and mortar gallery. This is his online gallery, and they complement each other. Even
right.
when, you know, like Pat said, selling in person, it's still like the tried and true way. Like, you'll want to do that when you can, when that opens up. You know, not everybody walks through there and just buys a piece right that day. I wish that it happened that way. They don't. But having a store and a website
Right.
that's a gallery where they can actually buy the art later, whether I want to buy it because my wife was there and it's a gift or whatever reason, you know, you want to be where they can
Yeah.
buy it at their leisure and make it easy for them. And it'll be a good thing for your business to kind of
Right.
diversify that. And then also here, you're going to get these strategies to help you execute those things you're looking to start improving.
I can see that. I can see that. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
sure.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, one of the things I got to do, because we're constantly messing around with these proposals, I'm hitting you guys with a poll. This thing is totally anonymous. I will not know who voted. So if you're not happy with it, you can just let me know. But let me know what you thought of the session in terms of the information delivered and everything else. And it's hugely helpful just to let us know sort of how we're doing. And I realize some of you guys just popped on 5 minutes ago, so obviously you haven't seen enough probably to vote. But thank you. The votes are hugely helpful in just letting us know that we're doing a good job. But I think, did you go over pricing, Joseph, or no?
I did.
Okay, good. So you got that done when I was doing my doorbell. So Catherine had a question. So the website, and I can pull this up. So let me make sure I understand this right, Catherine. So the website suggests that we need to have sold work to the general public. Not sure I'm there. Pretty sure I'm not, but not sure how to break the cycle, not having sales before I have sales. The chicken and egg conundrum, right? Let me see if I can find Catherine. Oh, you're right there. So, okay, Catherine. So the general rule of thumb here is, and I'm going to go ahead and end the polling. You guys are awesome. Thank you for voting. The general rule of thumb is you have to sell your work to people not named brother, sister, mother, father, friends, right? Because those people would do anything. They would lay down in oncoming traffic for you. And you need to know that you have a product that the market actually wants, right? And that's critically important. So pre-pandemic, this was easier. You would get a booth, or you would attend a local fair or show, and you'd get in there with your work and you would try to sell it to strangers, and you see how it would go. Okay, well, in a pandemic world, and I realize that we're sort of coming out of it, it's still not so straightforward. It's not so easy. So what do? I love the grab your work, and it'll be much easier if I do this show and tell. I'm going to do it show and tell for you, Catherine. Hold on, let me grab my stack here. Hey guys, I am taking this opportunity of coming out of the pandemic and realizing I officially need to get my art show or my art business off the ground and get it going. You take this, Catherine, which I know you have some sort of cell phone with a camera on it. You go live on whatever you got, your personal Facebook page, your Instagram page, whatever it could be. You hold up your work. You talk about it. This is a wood print of a boat that I painted from Italy, and it's on 3/4 inch maple. It's ready to hang. Talk about your inspiration. Talk about how normally it would sell for $375, but you're willing to let it go for $250 to try and get your business going. And you can say, I'll take PayPal. I'll take Venmo. You can pay me when you come pick it up at my house. I might even deliver it. And you go through your various different works. You talk about them. This one's acrylic. My green screen's making it look a little circusy. It's beautiful. It's thick. It's ready to hang. It comes with a hanger. And you could get a bunch of small samples like this, you know, assuming, I don't know if you're a painter or if you have originals or if you're doing prints, but you can get a bunch of small ones like this where you show off the work for like $150. And you can have 10 of them and you can show them and see if you can get people to sell.
Thank you.
And you can do that this afternoon, Catherine.
That's true.
You could do it tomorrow.
It might not be today, but it might be tomorrow.
Yes. You could do it to celebrate Mother's Day.
Okay. I like it.
I like it. And you can see that, like, you know, I'm very pro, let's get going today. Do it today, right? No waiting. You'll constantly get the push with us, the marketing push. A great question. And, you don't know until you don't know until you know, right? Like you have to try, you have to get the work in front of people. Picasso was getting interviewed by a fellow sketch artist, and he's asking Picasso for advice, and Picasso's like, early on, my drawings did not command high prices, but they all sold. Your work has to go out into the world. You have to get it in front of eyeballs. And that advice is as strong today as it was when Picasso originally gave it. So that's what I would say. Okay. Go ahead, Wesley.
Patrick, good to talk to you. Appreciate you taking my questions. But for first, I owe you some information. You once asked me to give you some names of these competitors, and I've listened to some of their pitches. Rachel Wilkins, you ever heard of her?
Rachel Wilkins, no.
Yeah, anyway, she's a master class, and of course she was promoting what she was selling. It was worth $13,000, right? At the end of her pitch, I'm going, I bet she's going to offer it for $9.95. Sure enough, she offered it for $9.95. I didn't bite, but in any event, yeah, they're out there, Patrick. But you're still the guru in my book. So, two questions for you today.
Yeah, go
ahead. I heard one of the last broadcasts. This is a question I've had for some time. You guys advised not jumping into the Facebook or Instagram ad pool too soon in the process. And I've always wondered about the metrics. When am I ready to start plowing some money into making not Jeff Bezos, our friend at Facebook, even richer than he is already?
Yep, Mark Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg. So I heard a number. It was like once I reach a certain number of sales.
Yeah.
I don't understand that metric. What does that have to do with whether I'm going to be successful with an ad or not? It would seem like it would be more.
It's an arbitrary number. It's an arbitrary number.
My site or something like that, right?
It's an arbitrary number that we came up with. It's less about the arbitrary number. We sort of draw the line in the sand and say, okay, once you're doing, you've done more than $2,000 directly from your own website, you are ready to get into warm ads. And the premise that's underpinning the arbitrary number is you are not going to see an ROI from ads on Facebook and Instagram until you have the aforementioned marketing muscles, like I went over with Antonio at the beginning. You have to be capturing emails. You have to be emailing those emails on a regular basis. You have to be posting on the socials on a regular basis. You need to be having some live art shows. You need to be having sales when the time is right. You need to understand the mechanics of all those sales, and you need to do that consistently for a period of time. Once you're doing all that consistently, then you're ready for Facebook ads. And Wesley, all of the gurus' courses, all of them out there talk about Facebook ads because they think that's the panacea. And yet I've got 5,500 customers, and it is very few of those customers, okay? And I would say, when I say very few, 100% of them that are seeing an ROI on Facebook ads are doing all of those regular marketing activities with consistency. If you're not doing those regular marketing activities with consistency, you will never see an ROI. You will be writing checks to Facebook that you never see again. You might as well go play the lotto, okay? Once you are to that point, you start with warm ads. What do I mean by warm ads? You are only paying Facebook and Instagram to show your posts to people that have interacted with your brand before. What do I mean? People on your email list, that becomes an audience. People that have interacted with you on Facebook, that becomes an audience. People that have interacted with you on Instagram, that becomes an audience. People that have been to your website, that becomes an audience. Collectively, everything that you have warm becomes a kitchen sink audience, and you start showing warm ads to those folks, and you do it in perpetuity. It is no different than a cable bill for your house, okay? It is a cost that all of us should be paying, need to be paying, but you can't pay it until you have the marketing muscles in place. So if you feel like you have those muscles in place, you're ready for Facebook ads. If you're not, don't do it. You're not going to see the ROI.
Mm-hmm. Okay, second question, and this is one I bet you're gonna say I'm a sucker once again for the shiny penny syndrome. But let me throw this one at you. Of course, this talking about my son just got his first real job with a company that he's a budding data scientist. A company that does this very deep dive and analysis of of who are the most successful influencers on the socials. And they built a whole company around this. I mean, I don't exactly understand why. Well, I understand why people would want to pay for that, because I understand some marketers are thinking you get a bigger bang for your buck from the influencers than you do from Facebook or Instagram ads. But anyway, this is what led me to think more about, is this something that I should be looking into? And lo and behold, just today I got this email from a company that says, "Oh, we've seen your site, we love it. Would you like to have us do a post on your site talking about your gallery?" Of course, I knew they were looking for an exchange, so I immediately go back. So, what's the fee? One post $39, two posts $49.
Yeah, the general rule of thumb.
$149.
The general rule of thumb there.
Are those worth the money, Patrick? Is obviously
no. My general rule of thumb is if they reach out to you proactively, it's never worth the money. The ones that are worth the money is when you target someone and you reach out to them and then you try to make the deal, and they make you negotiate a little bit. They can be worth it, but no, if they reach out to you, absolutely not.
Yeah, because I went to their page and it's like they don't make any effort to.
Of course
really
they don't.
Promote.
Of course they know.
It's just really a page with links to these different businesses that have paid them to do a post. Yes. Basically, is all they're offering. But the ones that actually, because I've been following some of these influencers, and yeah, it's tempting to reach out and say, hey, would you mind putting a plug in for me? I guess you would only do that if you see that they actually do that, though, right? So
yep.
But there are known influencers out there that will plug up and coming artists or
yes, yeah, 100% there are. And if you're going to do that strategy, if you're going to do that strategy, and I'm going to mute you, Wesley, because your mic is doing some sort of spiky thing. If you do that strategy and you want to succeed at that strategy, I recommend that you proactively reach out to folks. I recommend you start with a budget of a couple $1,000 because you're going to have to try out about, I'd say 10 to 15 of them to hopefully find a winner. But it can work. It is a worthwhile marketing technique. But yeah, you see, this is what I love, right? And I already know this conclusively, but just for instance, Nicole, no, it's not worth the money. Don't do it. Steve, I've been burned every time when they reach out to me. See, I could have saved you guys a bunch of money and told you. If they reach out to you, it is absolutely a scam. You are never going to see an ROI on it ever, period. So it can work. You have to do it proactively on your own. And sadly, Wesley, as you know, there's no shortcut. You have to do the marketing. I poke fun at Wesley because Wesley's always looking for the latest and greatest next hack, right? But there's no shortcut to just doing the marketing. We all have to do our marketing. There never was a shortcut. There never is. It's never going to stop, right? Like, influencers at the end of the day, or any accounts on Instagram that have a ton of followers, they have attention. If they have attention that's super engaged and it works, and you want it, there can be a deal to work out there, right? There can be great deals to work out there, right? Like, like Deborah just said, she did it once and has a gallery in Spain representing her for a year, right? There's stories like that. But you have to be the one doing the proactive reach out on your own. And it's no different than anything else. Behind each one of those counts is a human being. There's a relationship. Get to know them. Get to know, like, and trust them. Work out a deal that's advantageous to both parties and do it. And if you're going to do it as a cold outreach strategy, better take 10 shots because you're not going to get a bullseye in the first one. It doesn't usually happen that way. And Steve, people get a bazillion followers for a bazillion different reasons. And, Steve's asking, how do you get a bazillion different followers on Instagram? Not all followers are created equally. Okay. There's a buddy of mine. I love saying this. My buddy of mine did a deal with this guy who's he's like an ESPN commentator sorts. And he has, I don't even know, like 120 million or 90 million, some ridiculous Instagram fee. And he paid him $50,000 to promote his product. 0 sales, 0, not a 1 sale. And, he got into this protracted argument and everything else. Point being, not all followers are created equal. There's some accounts. Okay. Let me give you a for instance. Okay. And this will be a mind boggling one. And I'm going to go ahead and change the names and faces such that everyone is protected. We have a person on our platform that has 1.3 million followers on Instagram. Okay. We have a gal on our platform that has 5,000 Instagram followers. The gal with the 5,000 Instagram followers, her sales are 10x the guy with 1.3 million Instagram followers. Not all followers are created equal, right? So it can be a vanity metric at the end of the day. Like, stated in another way, if I picked you up right now, Steve, and we drove to the aforementioned ATM machine in your podunk town, is there going to be a button on that ATM machine for followers? Is there going to be a button on that ATM machine for likes, for comments, for shares, for someone told me my work is awesome? No, none of those buttons exist on the ATM machine for a reason. The only thing that is real are sales when the credit card comes out of the wallet and buys the art. So that's what I've got. Yeah, good session today. Great attendance too for a Friday. I appreciate you guys hanging in. Any other questions we can think of? Anyone else? You can leave them in the chat, or you can raise the hand or do the digital hand raise while you've got us. Yep, Marion, I got you. Go ahead.
Let's see. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Great. Does your company do printing? When you were talking about the augmented reality imaging and doing rescaling, how do you what if your customer wants a different scale? Or does your company have access to the Gicley printing or
G-Clay, yeah. So we integrate.
How do you say that?
G-Clay.
G-Clay, thank you.
I mean, it's a fancy way of saying inkjet printing, although it's a little different.
Okay,
it's a little different. Acrylic's a little different and such. But we integrate with two print houses. One is called Bay Photo on the West Coast. One is called Graphic Dimensions on the East Coast. What happens is you will get an order on your website. You will get paid. The printer will get paid. The printer will print the order. They will slap your logo on the side of the box. They will ship it. You touch nothing. You can offer all of the various different media types. Not only do we offer that integration with all the various different print mediums, metal, acrylic, canvas, wood, fine art paper, photographic papers, but we also do it with merch. So you can sell coffee cups and t-shirts and throw pillows and tote bags and puzzles and calendars and greeting cards, and all of that is POD as well, meaning you don't have to hold any physical inventory at all. There are no minimums. You get an order, the order goes through, you touch nothing, it gets shipped.
They take care of all shipping and all that.
Yep, all of it.
Yeah. It's also nice in that they will, when you upload the file here, again, we're just kind of more built for what you're doing. When you upload the file that the printer is actually going to print from, our software will analyze it and then populate all the different sizes that would actually be available as a print too. So it's going to give you all the options. So you guys don't have to figure out all those numbers, which is a nightmare. And it's not going to let you offer anything bigger than the file actually supports. So, Pat talked about all those different medias and the merch and everything. You upload one file and all the metal and the paper, and it's all like archival museum quality prints on that. All those different options for all the different sizes, like it just populates that. Because a lot of other like platforms, if you guys have websites out there, if you wanted to do metal paper canvas on 5 sizes, you have to make 15 different products for each different one.
Right.
If you want to do a t-shirt, you've got to make that t-shirt. All right, that's done. Now I'm going to make my coaster, and then I'm going to make my puzzle. You have to like make all of those. You don't have to do that here. So it's just nicer. It's more
okay. So if I've started doing series of prints. So if I have 3 prints, but I want the modular unit to be clear that it's a module. How are they going to show the purchaser when it arrives how to put it together?
Are you talking more like a triptych?
Yeah, that would be a more simple one, but there are more complex ones. So I'm just wondering if the they would need some kind of a direction or a map
of how to hang them.
It's kind of like a mini installation.
Yeah, so you would just include a shipping insert is what you would do.
Oh, okay.
Or you could have the directions on your website as a PDF that that they could print out and do that way as well.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And do they will your printers give us information like are they putting sealers over the inkjet and things like that?
Yes.
How much of a sealer? And
yes. Yeah. I mean, the dirty little secret about printing is it's become a commodity. And what do I mean is everyone has the same monitors. Everyone has the same color calibration units for the monitors. Everyone has the same printers using the same inks, using the same media types. And so we have all of the best print mediums. We print with two of the biggest printers in the United States. Their reputation for quality is unsurpassed. And so it's not an issue at all. Not the coding, not the media types. You pick which ones they are. You can pick the best. You can pick the cheapest. You can pick the in between, and they get they get the best quality that there is. So yeah.
That they're asked to do.
Yeah.
Are they archival?
Of course.
Is it archival?
Oh,
ink
yeah.
Or?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, all archival museum quality prints.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. Pleasure. Okay. Someone was asking, and it's Nicole, and she's asking a question. Does a DSLR camera work for prints with your companies or iPhone? I get what you mean. Yes. So you're asking how you photograph the work for reproduction. We have a pretty killer article on that. April will post it in the chat. I think you should read it. And we'll send it to everybody after the fact too. That can explain to you how to get your work photographed for reproduction. You can do it yourself, or you can hire somebody locally. Somebody can come out one day, get it all done for you, and then you're good to go. So it's pretty easy to do. And Joseph, are we running some sort of sale right now?
Yeah, we are. Get a little bit better deal. Like I mentioned, the discounted pricing earlier, but so you know, the regular price on our lower end, it's generally like $1,750. So again, you can start right now for as low as $1,000 as a one-time fee. So you don't pay that again, and then after that, $44 a month ongoing. And then it does range up on the high end, which has just got everything we offer of every feature, bell and whistle. And there's a giant feature list on our website you can check out, but that's normally $4,000. So it's a bigger savings there. If that's in the budget, you could start for $2,700 at the moment as a one-time, and then $59 a month ongoing. And yeah, again, differences, features there. But of course, if you guys want to put in a request, our team can, hear a little more about your art and tell you more details, and just see what works best for you. If it's a good fit for you. So.
Yeah, I would say, like, look, if this is the first time that you've ever been on one of these calls, or the first time you've ever heard about us, like, don't worry about it. We're not going anywhere. But if you're on the fence and you're like, okay, this is interesting, it's piqued my interest, I want to learn more, you can request a demo, and we'll put links here in the chat. We'll email you after the fact. There's buttons all over our website. And what happens is someone from Joe or even Joseph's team, either Joe or Joseph's team, they have like a 10 to 15 minute call with you. They'll find out about you, your art. You can ask all the nitty gritty questions about pricing and the things that this, that, and the other, and everything else. If you like what you hear, wonderful. You schedule the full demo. It goes an hour. We've got all the bells and whistles to show you in the back end, and a whole video guided tour and all that jazz. And if not, no worries. We'll never call you again. It's not a high pressure situation how we do things. But yeah.
They're not even going to try and sell you anything on that call anyways. Even if you wanted to buy something, that's not really our process. We want to talk with you, get you more examples of sites for you to see, and really let you research it. Maybe come back and see us again next week on one of these, and we can answer more questions, and yeah, just make sure it's right for you.
Love it. Okay. Other than that, other questions, guys? Stu's got another one. All right, Stu, let's go. You have to unmute, Stu. Yep, gotcha.
So for me, Mother's Day is 24 hours from now.
Mm-hmm.
If I was to do a couple of things right now, what would your advice be? So pushing my little Instagram photos, already got it out there. I've got work in the house. I've got an abnormally and frustrating large amount of unframed works in the house, and I've basically offered 20% off for stock that I've got in, sort of on hand and showing people.
Yep. So stop. Don't worry. I'm going to send you the video of the live art show, which is a sale to get rid of excess inventory. You're going to watch it. You're going to grab the phone, and you're going to go live, and you're going to do it, and then you're going to email your list.
I'll do it today.
Yep. And you get a creative title. Are you married, Stu?
No.
Okay, you have a girlfriend.
Can you get me one of them?
Yeah. So
No.
I'm going to say, you're going to call your sale. My girlfriend said if I don't get this art out of the guest bedroom, she's going to kill me, sale. Okay. Everything must go. And then you're going to turn the camera on and you're going to go through the pieces and talk about it. And that's that. You know, you can come up with whatever creative title you like, but do it this weekend.
Yeah. No,
Hey,
come up with the story.
And then send me a link because I want to see it. Hold you accountable. Otherwise, I'm going to otherwise I'm going to come hunt you down next week. All right. Cheers, Stu. Thanks. Okay, Antonio, you got another one. Go ahead.
Question. I just, a couple of months ago, I recently launched a whole new website. The previous, I realized that it was just images and had no content. How is that possible to integrate with your system?
Is it WordPress? What are your price points at, by the way? Somebody just, one of my team was looking at, was checking out your Instagram. What are your starting price points at?
Works on paper on 1800, like 22 by 30 inches.
Yeah.
Those are in plastic. And then canvas from 4,000 to 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are works on paper. Those are plastic.
Getting some sort of like Kandinsky vibes from you a little bit.
Yeah, I use this technique called fumage, which I paint burning the canvas and the smoke. You know.
Yeah, dude, this stuff's amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, that looks so easy to market. You get so much to say.
I know, and that's why I'm so frustrated because I cannot. This is I was going to send Patrick an email separately because I'm constantly in this dimension, if you want to call it. So I have a hard time dealing with the marketing and how to present it. You know, how to get it out the door.
Oh, you mean you're the artist that has a marketing problem, Antonio? Do you speak, Antonio? Do you speak Spanish too?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll help. Yeah, dude, I'm seriously digging your stuff.
Thank you.
Awesome. Don't feel bad about not being good at communicating that message. I mean, I've talked to artists that are like their full-time job is a marketer, and it's just can be awkward. You know, when you're talking about yourself and about what you're doing, and you know your methods and what you want to share. It can be awkward. So like having a structure, you know, kind of laid out of like, hey, I know this works. If I just kind of follow it, it helps a lot.
Okay. So you guys do, I mean, I think I already asked this question, but like, I don't want someone to hold my hand, but really create a platform or program based on where I'm at the moment.
Yeah, you get bolted into the full tactical program from day one.
Yeah.
Side note, do send me that email because my buddy, this is a quick tangent. Okay, I would only do this because he's close. Okay. My buddy is like legendary epic chef, and he just started a new Italian restaurant downtown in LA. And
what's it called?
I got to get the name out of my phone. I'm bad with names, but you should go down there and see if you like the vibe of the place. If you like the vibe of the place, you should put your work in there, and they would take it in 2 seconds. And the guy used to be what was the name of the restaurant? It was the 3 Michelin star, and he wasn't the head chef. He was the number 2 chef, so the EDC, and dude's super legit. Joel Stovall, his name is. But anyway, I'll send you the info. Side note.
Wait, what kind of restaurant are we talking? What kind of food?
It's Italian.
Oh, you said Italian.
Yeah.
Rosa Blue?
What's that?
Rosa Blue?
No, it literally just opened 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, they finally feel like the pandemic is over in LA. So we'll see how that goes. Dude, I'm just telling you right now, Antonio, you need to sign up. You need to sign up immediately. We are going to kill it with you.
There's literally templates, like pre-written emails and things to help you. Like no one here writes anything from scratch. Most of the time it's like laid out when to send it, what to do for like Father's Day to announce it, like literally templates walking you through everything. So it's nice, especially when you're, you know, solopreneur, you know, person trying to like wear all these hats and write content. And it's nice because Pat and his team have kind of already laid all that out for you with pre-written things. So it saves you a ton of time. Just makes it way more executable.
Based on looking at your stuff too, I think we got to raise the prices on some of the bigger ones. Go up to 50.
I know I've had this private dealer saying that, and I'm still struggling with giving the okay. You know.
Yeah. You know what ends up happening is the minute that you do it, you know, we find out the dirty little secret, and this will be rad for everyone on here because I'm a marketing guy, right? We have to have sales. You want to know why we have to have sales? Because human beings need incentives to take action. Do you know the only two brands I'm aware of that don't have sales? Louis Vuitton and Tiffany's. They're the only two. And Louis Vuitton Group is buying Tiffany, so they're about to be one brand that I'm aware of that doesn't have sales. So we have to have sales, right? And most artists will like push back at me like, sales, it cheapens the work. Like, no way. And I laugh because when you're on the inside and you have pieces like Antonio's or some of our other customers that they're like in the 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or $75,000 pieces, do you have any idea how hard the rich people that buy those negotiate? They negotiate on every single solitary one. Rich people did not get rich by paying retail, right? So what you find, Antonio, what I find is you want to sell that thing for 20, right? That's what you want to get for that thing. So you're telling your gallery owner, like, look, just leave it at 20. That's what I want. Well, what ends up happening is that person comes in and they're like, hell no, I'm not paying retail. And so they start grinding, and then you get the call, will you let it go for 12? If you priced it at 50 and it gets grinded down and grinds it down, you're gonna end up selling it for like 28 or 32, right? So it's all just a game. It is all just a game. And you know, these are the strategies that you need to be running the whole time. So
Okay.
yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Antonio. Okay, one more question for Steve. Are you there, Steve? Go ahead.
Quick question,
Yes.
Related to Antonio's, but how do you know when you're underpricing yourself?
Yeah, so there's two ways that I approach that. And one, this is just, I think, like a really, really solid business lesson. And it works for a whole bunch of different things. It's sort of like a thought exercise that you can do. And it's like a big deal in the tech community and, you know, like the startup world, everyone talks about it. You ask yourself whether or not it's a reversible decision. So I'm going to increase or decrease the price of my work. Is that a reversible decision? Yeah, absolutely. You could raise the price 100%. A week later, raise it right back to where it was, right? So you can raise the prices at any point in time. When to do it is also is a very good question. But once you realize it's reversible, it takes all the pressure off of doing it. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, if marketing is the biggest disease that is affecting, for lack of a better word, the artist community, number two, right? Like if heart disease is the biggest killer, like what's another smaller disease? Artists being terrified to ask for more money for their work, to raise their prices. Even Antonio had a version of it there, right? He's scared to death of raising it. So I get that this is a difficult thing to do. The easy way to answer the question is independent of it's a reversible decision. You can do it at any point in time. But if you're selling well, okay, obviously your prices are too low. Your prices are too low if you're selling well. If it is crickets and no one is even inquiring about the work, and when they're inquiring about the work, they're not asking for a better price, you're probably priced too high. But it's a reversible decision. You can change it at any point in time. There are stories, okay, in marketing land that they teach you about where certain products are not moving at a lower price at all, and you raise the prices on them like massively, and they all start selling. So there's that side of it too. Steve's got a sale on the line. Was it a sale?
I wish.
Ah, come on. The Friday. I would have been in high spirits. But yeah, that's how you answer that question. I think like the more important question too, and one of the things why I gave Antonio that advice is I find it critical that you have price point variance in your store and your operation. And what do I mean by that? Like, you know, a lot of artists will price their originals starting out at like $2,500 or $5,000, and it's like you don't have anything cheaper than that. Like, how many stores do we walk into where the starting price is $5,000? Not many, right? So, you know, everyone's followers are essentially fall into a bell curve, right? And it's a socioeconomic bell curve. My followers, Steve, your followers, Stu, your followers, the ones we're trying to get here at Art Storefronts. And the bell curve is like this, okay? It is socioeconomic status. On one side, it is really low socioeconomic status. These people do not have any money. They will like, they will comment, they will share things, but they don't have any money. Then lower middle class, or middle class, and then upper middle class, and then high net worth individuals. My camera is reversed, so this is really hard to do. So everyone's followers are a bell curve, no matter what. That's how it works. So knowing that is empowering, right? because you understand that's going to be the case. And each play a valuable role in your marketing. What you do is you just keep marketing. You get more emails, more traffic. The bell curve goes up. And guess what? The people that can't afford to buy anything, number one, they will like, they will comment, they will share, and they know the high net worth buyers, right? They are the ones that can get behind the gatekeepers for a number of different reasons. So they're awesome. But two, this is a universal truth of business. The easiest customer to get is the one that you already have, okay? Is the one that you already have. And so when you understand that, you need to understand that I need to have some prices starting out in my store for like $50, $75, $100, $150. It's why we love merch, right? And some people are like, merch, oh God, that is so cheesy. Yeah, okay, go to a concert, right? You ever see the Rolling Stones? Rolling Stones, biggest band in the world, they have a merch booth at their show, okay? Let's do art now. You ever go into a museum that didn't have a gift shop? No, you didn't, right? They all have a gift shop. So you can have a bunch of products, okay, in a gift shop, right? And, you know, you could have Antonio could have a couple of shirts, and he could have, you know, a phone case or whatever in some cheaper items. Okay, great. Well, now he's got some items starting at like 20, 30, 40, 50, 75, 100, 150 bucks. And then you have some prints that are at the next price range. All of that is awesome, okay? Because the easiest customer to get is the one that you already have. You're going to be in this business for the rest of your damn lives. Some of these people that are on the lower end of the bell curve today, 15 years from now, are going to buy a huge house, and they're going to need to outfit it with art. And are you at the top of their mind? All of that is important. But the thing flips 180 degrees too. There are certain people that get their kicks by buying something that no one else can afford. By buying the most expensive thing in the store, and you've got to have it in that store. And so in Antonio's case, I want a piece in the store for $175,000. Because guess what? Number one, it very well might sell. Number two, it does something psychologically where we see the most expensive, and let me give you the example on this. You ever been to a Mercedes dealership or any car dealership for that matter? All the super end, high end cars are in the glass box in the middle of the dealership, right? You know, there's the McLaren SLR, there's the G-Wagon AMG, $225,000. Those are there, okay? Look at me, look at me, look at me, to have the prestige for the people that are going to come in and buy it. But they're also there to help sell all the cars that are on the outside. Because when you're paying a higher price point for all those cars on the outside of the lot, you're in your mind, you're anchoring with, this is actually a good deal. It's not like those crazy expensive ones in the box. This is a good deal. This is a right price point. So, you know, having that price point variability in your store is just so, so critical. And, you know, again, there's people in their 90s that come on these calls once every 2 weeks. It's like, do you know how long you're going to be at this? Don't ignore those little guys, because the little guys know the big guys, and the little guys might eventually turn into big guys. And they're the ones that are going to like and comment and share and tell their friends. So it's just all part of the comprehensive marketing strategy. That's what I would say. Got me going on a rant there. But I think that's it. I think that's what I got. Joseph, you have any closing remarks?
I mean, I completely agree. You know, Gucci and all these other brands, they all sell iPhone cases and have other price points that they're hitting for people to buy. Mm-hmm. And yeah, when I think about, you know, the artists we have that sell $20,000 to $50,000 paintings on their website, and they're selling them, you know, online and offline, they offer a book with mm-hmm. the image in there at a low affordable price point, right? And so they're just being diverse. They're making sure they hit everybody, and just have something that falls into more budgets and give you more chance for success.
Got it. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out. We're going to email you all the links, all the everything. Stu, you were going to send me the link to your live art show in short order. And let's go. You know, we have one of the things that I'll say as a final, in my hope of hopes, you all know you have a marketing problem. You all need to do your marketing. The reason that you need to do your marketing, okay, is because Q4 is coming. More art, more photography is sold in the fourth quarter, usually than all other 3 quarters combined for most of our customers. And if you don't have anyone to market to, and Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all of these crazy holiday buying times comes around, you are not going to sell anything. So you got to start in on your marketing now. You've got to get going. You've got to build up these muscles. You've got to build up the list. And we can help you get there. We want to help you get there. And yeah, call Joseph. He's ready to go. Right, Joseph? Ready to take your calls. But thank you guys. You guys have been awesome today, and I really appreciate the time.
Happy Mother's Day to any mothers out there. And
that's right.
If not, I hope you all guys have a great weekend, and make sure you call your mothers.
Yes. Good reminder, Joseph.